Hello everyone, I80386SX, and what I hope is the final leg of our Compaq Prolinea restoration tour. We got a couple things we got to do with this case. We got to mount this hard drive somehow, and we have the CD-ROM that finally came today. 50-pin SCSI. Looks like a Toshiba. This came just today. Yep, it's a little bit newer Toshiba, but at the end of the day, it should do the job. And our hard drive bracket. I had to root around down here in the workroom to find that, but thankfully, I almost never say this otherwise, but I am for one glad that this thing is plastic and not metal. Usually I'd rather have the metal ones, but in this case that would probably not work as well with the way we have to mount this thing in. So let's do, first thing is first, I'm going to disconnect the hard drive for now because that is just going to get in the way of our CD-ROM. If I can get her out of there carefully. So let's get that guy in. Oh yes, and there's rubber feet we got to install too. I forgot about those. It's a really long cable, but we'll work with what we got. And this particular drive did come with rails already, so we don't have to worry about that. They're not the nice Compaq metallic, but nobody's going to see them anyway. Disconnect things very carefully. Some of these cables are starting to get old and brittle. Alright, power is in. We will get the sound cable in next. It looked like it was an identical match. If it's not, I'm not going to lose much sleep, if any, over it. Need a little bit more light in here. One thing I can say about these Compaq cases in the day, they sure stack things in them. Did they ever? And they don't make it easy to put these little cables back in because everything is so cramped in, and the second you have your hand in the way, you can't see what you're doing. Or let alone you can't see that you're putting it in upside down like I was doing. At least it sure seemed that way. Now let's take this little guy. Oh Christ. Oh yeah, the power cable's already in. Pretty sure that goes in like that. We're already fighting a analog audio cable. We're tell you how well this is probably going to go tonight. They ain't gonna dare make me edit this one out. Let's try to pull this out. I don't know how this is supposed to go. Or we have a third problem. Our pins are bent. Let's go compare to the old one. This may not be exactly the right cable for this. If it's not, then I'll move on from that. One more time before I give up on this. Yeah, the pins are never going to line up with this cable, so for the time being, I'll leave it in there, but I am not going to reconnect that one because the pins don't line up, and I'm never going to play an audio CD on this machine. So we will reconnect the power now. Try to tuck everything in as neat as possible. That's going to be easier said than done. Last but not least, the giant SCSI cable. Let's see if we can get some more light in here. Get the camera light on. That might do it. There we go. Now, if that's not going to make things worse anyway. That at least went in with minimal problem. So, next we got to connect this to the sound card, and once I have the other hard drive in, or have a plan for it, we'll adjust to those accordingly. Now I gotta reconnect the floppy. Everything's such a tight squeeze. Okay, so that's inserted. Well, once you know it, this thing may not even work. Yeah, we got a problem already. I knew this was too good to be true. Maybe I can customize this, because we still have the screw holes. So no matter what, even if we take these rails away, we at least got screw holes to work with. How am I going to do this? Do have to think this one out a little bit here, but we can somehow get rid of this rail. I think we'll be fine. Or even maybe get rid of both rails. Yes, before we worry about anything, let's get the old hard drive out of its caddy. Once we have that problem out of the way, then I can have a better idea how to proceed with this. And I could very well just double stick tape this thing onto the back of the caddy, but I'd rather not do that, considering that the case is metal. And I don't want to start any fires or short anything out, because it took me quite a while to get to this point. Way too long. Alright, old hard drive is out, so this is going to sit like that. I think I'll have to sit in there like that, but we can experiment as needed. Now we gotta get rid of the plastic, which we can... Oh, I think I've got it started already here. That didn't take much. Let's try and bend this until it breaks. It is at least wanting to start the break anyway. And just with some power tools, you can make this even easier. If I was hooking up an actual solid-state drive of this thing, I think I'd be furious how easily this thing broke, but and it broke off in the most, what do you look? Broke off in the most stupidest place possible. Alright. Now that we customized our thing here, so let us try to see if we can maneuver this thing in somehow. At the end of the day, we want our holes to be mounted something to those sorts. Actually, it's got to go something like that. And now, well, this is the stupidest design I've ever seen. The holes don't even line up, folks. At least not all the way. I think I can make something work out of that, but that's annoying. But with cheap plastic, you can work some magic. I just don't know how to quite do that yet. This is the slowest 15 minutes of your life. And so far, the most irritating 15 of mine. Looks like it comes with a whole gaggle of screws. Just a matter of which ones are going to be the best in this scenario. We'll try the bigger ones. May have to come up with some kind of bolt and nut solution here. I don't know yet. Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking if this is going to mount to anything. It could work. Hold on, folks. We may have a solution. maybe not. I don't know yet. Okay, so the hole in question is exactly 6/32, and it doesn't even come close to lining up for the second one, but yeah, we're not moving this computer around much. I don't think this is going anywhere significant, so I'm going to leave it at that. I think we got something satisfactory going here. Power. That one can go down in its little... Well, comedy of errors, folks. That's what my videos are. And probably after all of that, I probably got this thing in backwards. And at some point, I should have grabbed a screwdriver to get that last one out, but what are you gonna do? There we go. Those holes kind of line up. We get what you pay for. Let's see, and there's almost a point where some self-tappers would do some good, but cheap bastards didn't include them, so let's see how much if we can improvise something here. Or what I'm thinking about doing, drill the suckers out. Yep, I think I'm not going to mess with this anymore. This is very infuriating for me. And I also think the only screws that come close to fitting in there without modification... no, they wouldn't slip through, but I think we'll be sitting here for a while if I keep on with this. So, I am going to drill these out. Yeah, I'm going to drill these out, so that's going to be a magic of video editing portion of our video. Yeah. So, with the magic of video editing, we're going to drill these holes a little bit bigger so we can get some kind of screw in there and continue on with this comedy of errors. Alright, we're back. And nothing a 7/64 drill bit couldn't handle. It's not ideal, and the holes don't line up, but we got them enough where we can at least secure this hard drive in. So, try again, put it back in. I'm glad this thing is plastic, but I wish I could do a review on it, because I'm not overly impressed with the way this is set up logistically. I think they could have done a better job, but oh well. And the other piece, which I'm not going to do a recording for, is this IDE cable in question. I am getting a replacement at some point, so when that comes, I'll just simply replace this. Yeah, it's stuck up in the air, but whatever. Recall from my last video, I was getting 1782 errors. hope they don't come into play tonight, but we'll see. Do have some extra screws left over, but maybe they're from the CD-ROM drives, which I'm hoping, and just judging that I did not use 4 of the screws for the old hard drive when it went, I think that's what we got going on here. So we are going to put the rails on for this. This may be a bad idea already, but I don't know, my life is a comedy of errors, and this video was no exception. Let's get these screws out of the way. Alright, let's see. Let's get the monitor connected. And hopefully in the next few minutes, we're at a point where we can put this cover back on and test again. General rule of thumb, it's just not limited to this channel. If you put the covers back on everything before you test it, you are going to guarantee problems. Monitor does not have power yet, or does it? Nope. Gotta find the right power cord, folks. Technical difficulties. How about now? Still nothing. Still something. Alright, monitor's got power. We need a keyboard and mouse, which they're both. I haven't moved this computer since I did the last video, so all that stuff should be not too far. Turn off that light, I don't think we need it anymore. That is the CD-ROM spinning up. May even be a disc in there from the way it's thinking here. No errors. CD-ROM may be not in good shape here. See, maybe it's stuck from shipping. It was tested good supposedly before it got to me, so I don't know. That's even too big for that paper clip. But the fact that Windows did detect it seems like we're trending in the right direction. probably trying to read this disc right now, and this drive is having none of it. So I may have to tear that apart. But it does see a DVD drive or a CD drive, so at least the SCSI portion of this card does work. Oh. Oh, look at that. There was a disc in the drive. A very, very damaged disc. But that doesn't sound too good either. Oh, mercies, that thing sounds terrible. Does it ever sound terrible? Now I just gotta find a... hate to use this, but... Windows 95, everyone. That should read in here. Just thinking about it. I don't think it's going to go here. See. Make sure there isn't any device manager shenanigans going on. Doesn't appear to be. Yeah, I think that is going to be an unsuccessful part of this video. But the eject does work. So at least we know that the computer and the SCSI card are communicating in between here. So well, that is unfortunate, but things happen. So I guess I'm gonna, since we didn't get any other problems, for the time being, we're gonna shut this down. We'll take that drive out. And all right, maybe there will be a part 4 after all. And we already know I broke my own rule about tightening things down before we're completely done with them. This CD-ROM is case in point. And we have a second problem on our hands. Where is the bit for this? No snow. I have lost a bit for this. Yep, maybe. I'm gonna have to hunt down a T15 here because I think it grew legs during the course of this video. Well, let's see. Let's lift up the computer and see if it didn't happen to tuck underneath anything here. It doesn't look like it, but no, I guess I gotta go hunt down a T15 because this one just definitely grew legs tonight. Oh, wait, hold on. No, it didn't. I see it now. It just got tucked behind another bit. And for now, there'll be just a hole there. Could just as easily put a 5 1/4 drive in this thing too. I think I have 1 or 2 of those laying around that I could easily substitute for a CD-ROM. I certainly don't need it in this particular machine. Be nice, but not necessary. Let's see if I don't like the grinding noise in this thing either. The other thing I could try and do is find another IDE CD-ROM and connect it up, but that's a little bit more work than I feel like doing. Since this cable is nothing than getting in the way, I'm going to take it off for now as well. And we'll reconnect everything, make sure we don't get any horrible 1782 or 601 errors or whatever else I'm not thinking of. And that's what I get for trusting Toshiba products. My track record with them is absolutely horrid. I can't even connect the VGA cable on. This video's turning ugly fast. Finally got that in. Alright, good. Here's the connection to the keyboard. The old Dell keyboard, it just keeps giving me everything it's got for this project. At least something's working. I just want to get to the point where I can put the cover back on this thing. And would you know it? Knew that was going to happen. Try it again. Alright, disk drive is not constantly lit, so let's see what that does. That's looking a little bit better. Suppose it's probably not a bad idea to try booting off of a floppy at this point to see if we can get anywhere with that. Or I suppose I could read the disk and that should be adequate. I'm getting real sick of your stuff, real player. I've been told it not to display this. Reads discs just fine, so let's move on to our next part of our video presentation. Yeah, stupid mouse. Ah. You don't need to see me uninstall Real Player, but I'm real tempted to uninstall it. So, with the CD-ROM thing being a dud, hard drive is in place. We're going to put the cover. Yeah. We're one step closer to being putting the cover back on. But, if you noticed, I will pull out the envelopes shortly that were underneath this machine. There's gunk on them from the feet. So we're going to take the old feet off and put new ones on. I don't know if I have to do anything with Goo Gone. I may very well just do that. Yeah, these feet are melted. Alright, so let me go find some prying tools and let's move on with this. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll give it a try. As well as you expect. There's definitely some other cosmetic things I got to do to this case. But I'm not going to do those tonight because I want to work outside when I do it in case the stuff smells to high heaven. Oops, that one's starting to come off pretty nicely. We got one off completely. You can see the camera was on that corner. If I get underneath this one, maybe a smaller screwdriver perhaps might be our cure here. Well, I'm in the way of the camera. This one's being noticeably more stubborn than the other one. All right, that's gone. Now, okay, that one is in the photo, so that's good. Yeah. Let's even use the bigger one at this point. That one's starting to go as well. Good. Last but not least, this one really melted, so I think we definitely are not at least in the terms of melting. And I think we're gonna need a smaller blade for that. That one's just disintegrating apart. Starting to come apart. This one's taking a more layered approach than the others. All right, half of it came out. All right, the vast majority of that foot is off. You'll see there's some residue and crap on here. So to attempt to remedy that with our good friend Glue Gun. See how it works. I don't know what's going to do to this metal, but this metal's already in a bit of trouble. So I'm going to leave that sit for a couple minutes, and with the magic of video editing, I will be right back. Alright, we're back online, and most of the goo is now gone, as the name Glue Gun. Now, I did wipe the whole bottom of this thing with Glue Gun just because it did get rid of some of the crud that was on the bottom of this case. Unfortunately, there's a lot of rust on this case too. I didn't realize how bad that was until I started digging into this, but we can still put our feet on. Now, wipe the Glue Gun the best you can. We have feet. I don't know if I got these from Amazon or eBay, but they were not as easy as I thought they were to find. But pretty straightforward. They are the same size, so that's great. I will, once I find where I got these from, I will drop a link in the description. I think they're a little bit thicker than the originals, but that's not going to be a deal breaker for me. And this seller is so nice to give you 8 of them, so if you have 2 of these computers to restore, they have enough feet for 2. And no more mess. Everything's cooking with fire now. Or is it? Now we're cooking with gas. Not quite that far yet, but we're damn close. I don't know if I should be putting a case back on at this point, but we'll see how this goes. Now, I don't think many of you saw this thing with its case on, so I'd like to show that. I'm probably going to regret it later, not because I'm showing you guys it, but we know something's going to go wrong. But and now my house smells like goo gone. But at least there's no goo, right? And this monitor, I tell you what, all the years I had it, I gave it to a family member. I don't think they ever used it. I was about to throw this thing out when they gave it back to me earlier last year, but who would have thunk that this thing would become a staple in my YouTube videos. For this kind of stuff, it is absolutely perfect. And I will go back a little bit further just so you can see the goodness of vintage computing here. And while we were in between recording, the person that I bought this from immediately responded after I stopped recording and did send his or her apologies, and they're going to send me a different CD-ROM. So very good eBayer. I think they're out of Arkansas. I don't remember their name, but customer service is king. And we're up to a desktop. Real player, I've had enough of you, so you're going bye-bye. Apparently so did my iPhone. They're having enough of this whole thing too. And I am thankful that that is a component that I can remove separately. And I am going to record this part just for those that hate Real Player. You can get the pleasure of seeing it going away. And we are uninstalled. I take great pleasure in removing that software. So that's going to be pretty much it for this video. So depending on when I get the replacement CD-ROM and the weather outside, there may be a part 4 coming up. So questions, comments, concerns, or even some constructive criticism, please hook me up in the comment section and I will go respond to it accordingly. Thank you again for watching vintage computer repair videos.